As the General Assembly convenes, a lawmaker says he wants a measure to protect former lawmakers from protesters. It comes after demonstrators followed former Governor Pat McCrory in Washington, D.C., chanting things like shame. CBS North Carolina political reporter Bo Minnick joins us live from the General Assembly with a look at what's being discussed now in Raleigh. Bo.
Sharon, Republican State Senator Dan Bishop says what happened to former Governor McCrory in D.C. is dangerous. He says at this point now that the questions are what, if anything, would change to state law, and then, of course, what impact would that have to free speech?
Shame on you, you anti-gay bigot! You're a bigot!
This video, posted on Facebook, shows demonstrators in D.C. following former Republican Governor Pat McCrory. It continues down an alley before McCrory tries to enter a building to find that it is locked.
We got you now.
You have expressive conduct that is protected by the First Amendment, but assaultive conduct is not. And the question is, when does something cross the line into what constitutes an assault?
Republican State Senator Dan Bishop from Mecklenburg County says now that lawmakers are back in session, he is looking at drafting a bill making it a crime to threaten, intimidate, or retaliate against a North Carolina public official, past or present.
To the extent an official is covered by laws protecting against assault or threats, should that also be extended to former officials?
Nobody likes to be criticized. Certainly politicians don't like to be criticized, but that is the job, and it is the right of the citizens to do so.
The ACLU of North Carolina tells us the concern would be if any legislation would have a chilling effect on people's free speech.
The ACLU of North Carolina will be on guard to make sure that citizens retain that right to criticize their government.
We can't rely on what we've always relied on, which is courtesy and custom.
And Senator Bishop says there were other examples of property damage that happened in D.C. He says that the state should also consider taking a look at whether security is needed for former governors. He says that his bill would be modeled after a law that's already on the books right now in D.C. So far, though, no word from him when that will be introduced. Live in Raleigh, Bo Minnick, CBS, North Carolina.